This session, we're going to discuss how to add material lines in a batch on a service package in a work order. So from my work in progress screen, I'm going to go to this ticket here for Julie Jules on this Lincoln. I'm going to open it up. And here we have an ABS brake control module and harness that we need to do. Now, the key to doing this properly is to get the part numbers. Get the part numbers. This will make it so much easier for you. It'll be unbelievable. So I need to price out a ABS module and a harness and maybe some other incidental items. So instead of having to come in here and right click and add another line, then add another line and add another line, I want to be able to do it at all one fell swoop. So I just click on the line, and on the far right, you will see batch add material. So I click on that. Now I can start adding the material lines that I want to go to this package. So this is why it's important. You need to have your part numbers. So let's say I call the Ford dealer or whatever, and I get a part, number and a price on a module and a harness, maybe a couple of clamps or some clips or something like that. So here, what I'm going to do is just start adding those parts in. ABS module, whatever the part number is. I'm going to go to description. I'm just going to call it my ABS module. How many am I getting or pricing out? What's my cost on it? And then is there a core? The system will still use the matrix to automatically mark it up. Now, once I have the part on the ticket, I can always go change that price if I need to. So if I have more items, I just hit the little green plus sign and I go to my next item. Maybe I got a H7896, and this is going to be the harness. So I can click. So I just say this is my harness. I have one. What's the cost of the harness? Might be $179.95. There you go. Add another part. Got a couple clamps, maybe, whatever it is. Type it in. And you just add and add and add whatever you need to add. Cost would be, let's say, $1.25. Okay. So what if I have a part that is going to come from inventory? Maybe I want to add some brake fluid to this. So I'm going to hit the plus sign again. Now, again, I need to know the part number. So if I just type in BF and hit enter or tab on the keyboard, I should be able to search my inventory. See, I don't have a BF in there. But let's go back and type in a BF-3. There we go. See, I need to know the part number. So I'm going to do a couple units. And again, this is going to come from inventory. See, I have 4 in stock, 4 available to sell. Tab one more time and I'm done. Now I don't need this next line, so I'm just going to delete the line. So here I have 3 parts that I'm going to order from the Ford dealer and a part from inventory. I hit next. You notice the inventory item disappeared because it will automatically put it in since it is coming from inventory. Now, what the system is going to do at this point is double checking, saying, okay, is this what you're going to order? It's going to create a purchase order for you, a purchase order. Now, if there's something you want to go look up online, you'll notice up here it says, if it needs to be looked up online, then you would uncheck the box, and then once it goes onto the work order, you can go use your online connection and look up a part. So we hit next. Who's going to be the supplier? It's going to be the Ford dealer. It's going to create a PO. There's your total. There's your order quantity. And we hit OK. So now it's added all those lines to the work order. So I don't need this line now. See, I can just right click and delete the line. So here is going to come from inventory. Okay. So I hit it, draw. So what actually happens in the background is now the system has created a purchase order. Purchase order. Now it hasn't been processed yet. It's just an open PO. Now I call my customer, see if I make the sale. If I make the sale, great. Then I got two choices here. I can A, open a line, go to the PO and mark it as placed, or B, I can go straight to purchases. Let's go over to purchases so you can see what this looks like. I'm going to save this. I'm going to go to home, purchases, purchase orders. We'll go look for the Ford dealer here. So here's my PO. See, it's tied to work order 302. If I double click and open it up, here's my purchase order. So at this point, once it's sold, I can just go in here and say, mark as placed. In other words, I've picked up the phone and called and ordered the parts. Ordered the parts. I can do that here. I can also, in the work order itself, just open a line up, go to source, and open the PO right from here. So I can do it either way. Either way. You see, that'll take me right to the purchase order. So if I say, well, let's place it, it's placed order. Hit OK. Now you notice everything here on the left side is black, but we still have the units in purple. It's just letting me know we haven't received anything yet. So we'll get out of here. Now at this stage, I just save it, close it, wait for the parts to arrive. The really nice thing about a purchase order is once it does arrive, I do not have to go back to the work order. Now I can go to the work order and receive it there, but why even bother? I can go straight over to the purchases, go to my purchase orders, go look it up, double click, open the PO, and then all I have to do is put in the supplier invoice number and receive all. So let's go put something in, hit receive all. And now it's all been received directly into the work order. So batch adding does make it a little bit easier when you're doing multiple parts at one time, especially from a source where you got to pick up the phone and call. See, all done. So let me explain why I say you want to make sure you have your part numbers, because this is what will really slow you down. If I come in here and want to do some more, I can batch add more. Let's say I don't have a part number, but I have a description. Well, I can go in here and type in whatever. Maybe I had to get a wheel sensor. Get one here. And let's say it cost me, $49. Now, it doesn't matter if it's just one part or multiple parts. But see, if I don't put a part number, I can still hit next, and I can still create the purchase order. Now again, you see no part number, no part number. So what's going to happen back here? Let's do a little save. So we go back to purchases. See, no part number here. So when I place this order and a part arrives or parts arrive, when I go to this PO, I cannot enter the part number here. I'm click, right click, whatever. I can view it. If I go in here, try to click on part number box, can't do it. Cannot do it. The only way you're going to be able to get a part number is you're going to have to go back to the actual invoice, or the work order, I should say, open that line and do a manual receive. And then you can put your part number. That's the only way you can do it. So that will slow you down if you're ordering a lot of parts. So it's best to kind of take the time up front, get the part numbers, and then enter them as you set it up. It makes it a whole lot easier for you in the long run. Okay. And then once you receive it in, then the part number will be there. Another situation you'll run into is sometimes you'll need to look up a part on the online catalogs. So here I'm going to do an oil pan on this vehicle, and I'm going to get the oil pan from the dealer. I need to put some oil in, and I need to get a filter. So again, I'm just going to click a line, whatever line here in this package, batch add. Now let's say I had to get the oil pan itself from the dealer. So again, I'm going to, put in whatever the part number is, put a little description, the oil pan. I'm going to get one, and that oil pan cost me $99.99. Cheap oil pan. Now, I want to get some oil. Now, I know oil comes from inventory, and I need to get a filter. So I'm going to add, I want to put the oil in. So I'm going to look up my 5W30, pick which oil I want to use, and let's say it holds 6 quarts or liters. My next line, I want to put in an oil filter, but I don't know the oil filter number. So I'm going to go look it up. So I'm just going to type in oil filter, and we're going to put in 1. So pretty well got all the parts on here. One of them I'm going to source from the dealer. This one definitely coming from inventory. This one may or may not come from inventory. I won't know till I look it up. So I hit next. So if there are any items that need to be looked up by the online catalog, please uncheck it. So we're going to uncheck this line. I'm going to hit next. We're going to create the PO for the oil pan and hit OK. So now I need to go find that oil filter. Don't need that line anymore. See, I can delete that line. Go to my online catalog and go look for an oil filter. Let's see if I have it in stock. Don't have it in stock. Looks like I'll have to order one. So we'll go order this filter. Apply. Now it brings everything over. Oops, that brought over 12. That's a multi-pack. Got the wrong one, didn't I? Let's go look again. Yeah, it's priced for a multi-pack. So I want to bring in a single one. Or we can use the Wix. There we go. Apply. Looks better. So I need to go process the PO. We're pulling this from inventory. So all I got to do is open it up, jump to inventory real quick, or right click and go to inventory, click it and tell it to draw it. This item here, I go to my purchases, place my order, click on the supplier, place order. When the part shows up, click on it again, receive or open PO for the oil filter. Make sure you put your supplier invoice in and receive it. So that one's done. Only thing left to do now is tell the system I placed the order for the oil pan. So I can open the line here if I want, go to source, open the purchase order, and tell it I've placed the order. Once it arrives, again, I can go right here or over to purchases, open the PO, put in the invoice, whatever it is, and receive it. So even though we added 3 lines, we did it 3 totally different ways. A, oil pan, we made a PO and ordered it. B, the oil, we pulled from inventory. C, we looked it up online, ordered it, and received it. So that's how to use batch add. Pretty simple. Try it a few times, see what you think, and then you'll find that you can add a lot of parts real easy this way.